Hey, 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 it's Deborah, and welcome to another Chit Chat. So, today I want to talk about um, the Christian walk and the responsibility that we have as Christians that we don't always walk into. And so, one of the things that brought to mind was an expression my brother says all the time. He says, "Don't play with it." And I know he and I probably don't think of that as meaning the same thing because for me, I think about the fact that a lot of times as Christians, even though we say we're walking in faith, even though we say that we believe everything that the Bible says, everything that we can do as Christians, we're not always walking in it. And so I'd say we are misusing our faith. Not that we're using it for bad, we're using it for wrong or anything like that. The fact is, when we don't use it, we're misusing it because the purpose um, for us having it is not what we're using it for. The purpose of us having it was so that we can change the world, so that we can change all the bad stuff that's in this world, so that we have an authority to, you know, make things better. We have authority to change situations. And so, as the world is in chaos, and we hear about it every day, we hear it on the news, we hear about more killings. I heard about more yesterday out in Texas. We hear about them every day, not just here in America, but all over the world. And so, as Christians, if we use the power, we use the faith that we have, we use the power and we use the authority that we've given through our faith, through our belief in Jesus Christ, then we should be able to move a lot of things that are happening in the world. We should be able to move out all the evil that's happening. So our relationships should be better. Our community should be better. Our churches should be better. Politics should be better. Jobs should be better. Businesses should be better. Homes should be better. But when we're not using that authority, we're not using the faith in the way that we should, then we are misusing our faith. So, what do we do about that? We start using what God has given us for the purpose that He's given it to us. So, when we see stuff start to happen, instead of us sitting around and saying, "Hey, I wish it wouldn't happen. Oh, that's bad." We should be taking the authority that God has given us and we should be calling those things down. We should be calling those things in existence that are good and we should be commanding those things that are evil to go away. Part of that is using the love that God has given us through our faith in Him to do great and wonderful things. And I know a lot of times it doesn't seem like love is big enough to make the changes that we need to see in this world, but I guarantee you that it is. Case in point, years ago, my relationship with my son was crazy. He was starting in middle school. So if you're a parent, I know you understand. As an adolescent, they go through a lot of crazy things. You know, I was even reading a book about boys, and it says their brain goes through a testosterone bath, crazy, and it floods the bridge between the hemispheres. So they don't act, emotionally, psychologically, mentally, or whatever the way they used to. A lot of crazy things going on. So crazy things were going on in our relationship. We were very close at one point, and then we were like worlds apart. And so I remember praying and asking God what to do. He simply said one thing to me. He said, "Just love him, Deborah." And to me, it didn't seem like it was going to be a big deal. It couldn't bring about the changes that I wanted in our relationship. But I will say, long story short, it did. And so even to this day, we have the most wonderful relationship. Case in point, I have this Mother's Day card that he gave me this Mother's Day, just a few weeks ago. And so that son that I had crazy relationship with wrote to me, "Happy Mother's Day to the most amazing woman person I know. Thank you for being that perfect example of what it means to lead in love, what it means to fight for what's yours, and what it means to walk in your purpose." My son wrote that to me. So I'm not bragging on me, but I'm bragging on the God who could take that situation and make it something incredible, more than I ever thought it could be. Our relationship right now is more than I could ever have wished for. And he did it just by simply telling me to love and by me being obedient to that. So let's use our faith to do great and wonderful things. Let's trust that the God who can do anything will lead us into how to make this world better. But let it start with us utilizing our faith, obeying Him, and just loving one another. Until next time.